All right, guys. Welcome once again to the Collectin and Connectin podcast. However, or wherever you may be watching, YouTube, Spotify, Apple, Betamax. We don't know at this point. Could be any medium, antennas. Really pretty stoked to have a couple guests back. Banana Bacon Mac. How are
What
we
is
doing
that?
today?
I'm doing good. I'm just, trying to feel my inner King Brett. I'm really missing him lately, so thought I'd rock some of his gear.
Much respect for that. Shout out King Brett doing the good Lord's work out at the State Fair of Texas, stacking that paper so he can stack those moments when the season starts. Mr. BBleezy in the house, Celtics fan, royalty, I should say. How are we doing today?
I'm doing great, you guys. I'm enjoying life right now. Things are slowing down a little bit for me, so thought I'd take some time, pop in, and say what's up.
Stoked, very stoked to have you here. We have something very, very intriguing. I'm excited to hear you and Mr. Treaticus talk about today. Speaking of Treaticus, fantastic to have you back today. Thanks for taking time out of your day to be with us. How are you, good sir?
Man, I got no complaints, bro. It's a beautiful day here in Bryant, Arkansas. Happy to have the pod today. Good fit for me today.
So we're going to get right to the community mailbag, guys. A question for Mac and Bleezy. Today's question comes from 3Ball34. If y'all aren't familiar with 3Ball34, he is a legendary Mavericks collector. But 3Ball34 knows, he says, you guys have both been on the podcast before. Is there anything that you wish you have said before, anything that you think that people should know about you up front, first and foremost, that you have left out on your prior appearances?
That is one loaded question.
Wow.
Question,
Jeez.
3Ball.
I got to think about this one. I
Three
don't even know
ball,
who this
tough
3 ball
question.
guy is.
Good question, 3Ball34.
Yeah. I mean, do you guys think there's something I've left out?
I don't
There's
know.
a
Is
question.
there? Is there
Oh,
something
man.
left out,
There's
Mac?
something I haven't told you guys? I spend too much. Like, I think we all know this. I love floating. I think I'm out there.
Okay.
Kick it to Bleezy.
I don't know. I'm a Cancer. I like to go with the water and the flow, and I don't know. Not really. I feel like I've said all I needed to say.
That's a great
that?
answer. Actually, it's deep, it's philosophical, and this is what we're here for, guys. Speaking of getting philosophical, I think that Mr. Treaticus, and I gotta call you out on this one because you were kind of cussing Top Shot out for their lack of involvement with your fandom and showing you the amount of adulation that you thought you deserved. There was a Larry Bird meetup, and if you guys go back a few episodes, you will see Treaticus besmirching the good name of Top Shot and not involving him as a lifelong Larry Bird fan and not involving him in the Larry Bird conversation. And then what happened 15 minutes later, Treat?
So again, that was a joke. Don't take my tweets seriously. I'm joking.
He was
when
serious.
I said, "How dare you, Top Shot," and then keep my songs out of your mouth, or keep my ditty out of your.
Yeah.
Are we allowed to say that?
Yeah. We yeah. It's about it, because it's that classic John Cougar Mellencamp song, little ditty about
little ditty.
Oh, yes, right.
Yeah, anyway,
we digress.
So a collector that actually earned the hangout, Diamond reached out to them and made the connection, and I was able to kind of present my case as a lifelong Larry Bird fan for why I would love the opportunity to be part of that. So that's they let me in, and it was really cool. I mean, dude's laid back. I mean, I'd love to have him on the pod. He'd be great on this pod. Larry Legend, very nice, very down to earth.
But you weren't selected outright though. Like you were.
No.
Bleezy was part of like the super fans that were real Larry Bird fans, and they were selected. And then
I didn't even get selected. I had to win a leaderboard, so I had to actively go and burn Larry Bird moments in order to get that spot. I had two that I was like comfortable losing, and the replacement cost would have been like less than $100. So I was like, I'll throw these up there and see if that's enough. And I was in second place the whole time on the leaderboard until 10 seconds before someone passed me and I got bumped to third, but that was enough for the spot. So I just snuck in there, which is just how you want to be. You don't want to burn more than you need to burn. So yeah, I was able to sneak in there, and I was definitely surprised to see Treaticus. And we asked him, we were like, how'd you get in here? And he was just like, ah. And we're like, no, how did you get in here? And he's like, we're like, no, dude, what are you doing? We're glad to see you, man. I'm always relieved when there's other people involved in this that I like know and communicate with already. There was like a lot of big name Celtic collectors in there, so it was nice to kind of get the whole game together and celebrate Larry Bird. It was fun.
It was fun. Yeah, that was the question. Everybody, as soon as I appeared on the damn thing, Samuel D was like, "What are you doing here?" And BleeZy, what are you doing? And Boston based, everybody giving me shit. I loved it. It was awesome.
I think it was all fun though.
You avoided all the questions that they're asking you. You were like, in my mayor training.
It's none of their damn business. They should have known. The universe would not allow that to happen without me being there.
No way. I do. Shout out Diamond, because that dude's a legend. I want to put that out there.
Great dude.
Always out in the community, always helping people out. He does our burn boards for CNC, so I just want to give him a little light, Good dude.
Very kind.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So we've got Larry Bird. We're talking to him. What'd you ask him, BleeZy?
Before I dig into that, I want to recap what Treaticus said. And Larry was into it, man. I was expecting him to be like, what am I doing? Who do I got to talk to these nerds? Like, what? Okay. First question, yes. Next question, no. And just like plow through it. But this guy gave thoughtful answers. He was like going back and forth with collectors. He was telling stories. He was laughing at some of our jokes, which was pretty good. He was really engaged in the process. He said, I think one of the first things he said was like he prefers this type of style of like talking to just a few collectors instead of like a big group, because he can like get more involved with them. So he was really into it. I had a stream the night before the meet and greet to like go over questions with the chat and like come up with stuff together. So we came up with some questions. My first question for him was, we're all big Celtics fans and big Larry Bird fans. We're also all big collectors. Do you collect anything? And if so, is there anything in your collection that stands out? And he kind of laughed and he was like, I don't collect anything, but I have a lot of stuff. Is how he put it. And the thing that was cool, he said he still has his first new car he ever bought, which is a 1979 Ford Bronco. He says he still has it. He hasn't driven it in 25 years, but he's just holding on to it. He still got that. And then he told a story about a friend of his when they first started making Larry Bird cards. This guy collected all the Larry Bird cards and framed them all and gave them to Larry. And he was like, man, if you try to do that now, you need, and he like trailed off. And I was like, you need a whole room. And he's like, I guess you would. There's so many of them now. So that was I thought the Ford Bronco part was like a nice little takeaway.
It was cool.
And then I asked him if there was a player in the NBA today that reminded him of his playing style. And I thought I knew what the answer was going to be when I asked this question. And I was surprised by his answer, but then it made a lot of sense. He said the player that most reminds him of him is LeBron James. And I kind of was like, oh, and he was like, LeBron's faster than me and can jump way higher than I ever could. But it's the basketball IQ. He's a pass first player. He tries to get others involved. And I was like, oh, that makes sense. But also it makes sense in that Larry thinks he's the best player to ever play basketball. So of course he's going to put himself to probably the best player to ever play basketball. It makes total sense when you think about it. But yeah, and he talked a little bit about the style of basketball now and how much reliance there is on 3-pointers. And he talked about how he likes the spacing but doesn't like all the threes, and it's kind of hard to get one and not the other. But it was and then like I passed it on to other people and it came back to me later. But I thought he gave really thoughtful answers to my questions, and it was just good kind of getting to shoot this shit with him a little.
No doubt. And he just seemed, it's crazy. He just seems like a regular guy, except he's one of the greatest players of all time. Like wasn't aloof or
No.
And then he kept saying he was thankful for us. Like, man, thanks for your time. He said, no, thank you. And would call us by name, right? When we asked our question. Just really cool.
Did that feel weird to you, Treaticus? It was weird to me for him to be like, well, Brian, I was like, oh, yes, Larry, yes.
Yeah, it was. I was like, it was something I never, ever thought I would experience is Larry Bird saying, hey, Chris, good question, Chris. And, anyway, really cool. Really cool.
That's so cool, though, that it was so personal.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's just, like, such a unique part. And, like, I think it's really cool what Top Shot is doing with all these, like, player meet and greets. Because, like you guys said, like, him calling you by name and being involved like that, that's, like, 10 times better than anything else, in my opinion.
Very cool.
Yeah. He totally could have, like, mailed it in and just, like, satisfied the requirement, know, and given, like, one-word answers and, like, whatever. But he did not do that. I felt like he would have stayed longer.
I agree.
I feel like Jacob was like, all right, we got to wrap it up. And he was like, I got more to talk about. Just a quick note about Jacob. So the call's starting. Larry Bird's there. And like someone else from Dapper's like, all right, we just got to wait for Jacob to get here to get started. And it's like, Larry Bird's here.
Yeah.
Where's Jacob? We're waiting on Jacob.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. So I just thought that was.
And then at the end when Jacob's like, let's wrap it up, and then he had a few Knicks comments he wanted to make, and everybody was giving him shit. It was so funny.
Not just that, Larry was talking shit about the Knicks
to
Jacob. This was the best part, I think, of the whole thing, because it was talking about how the CBA is punishing teams for drafting well. And Larry was like, oh, the Celtics and Warriors are getting punished. And Jacob was like, well, as a Knicks fan, I don't really feel for those teams. And Larry was like, oh, yeah, the Knicks. We know you guys are so good this year. You're going to be so cocky and arrogant all season long. And then you're going to lose in the second round like you always do. And everyone was just like, hey, Larry, get him. It was so good.
It was so good.
And then I had the next question after that. And so Jacob was like, oh, pass it on to Brian. I was like, can I just skip my question and have Larry talk more shit about the Knicks, please? Everyone got a good laugh out of that, including Larry.
It was good. It was good. Larry liked that.
Yeah, that was the best part, I think, was hearing Larry talk crap about the Knicks in real time. That was fun.
And then, hey, because I'm a Celtics fan and not a Pacers fan, how involved he's been with the Pacers organization is still involved. That's really cool to think about a guy that one of the greatest players of all time, and then he coached, and now he's been in the front office, obviously, and what an amazing story. And it's probably he doesn't get as much credit for that after his career for some reason in playing basketball for what he's done for the Pacer organization. Or maybe it's because the Pacers are small market. I don't know.
Yeah, they are, but they were our toughest matchup in the playoffs this year, I thought. Sorry, Mavericks. The Pacers.
Oh, no doubt.
Pacers gave it to us this year. That series should have gone 7. I can't believe we swept those guys.
Was there a bigger moment in the finals or this championship run than that in Boston? Overtime comeback, Jaylen Brown. I mean, how the hell did we win that game? We had no business winning that game.
No, we should have lost and then been playing behind the whole series. I don't think in terms of what was on the line, that shot was everything. I feel like once he hit that, I was like, we're just gonna cruise now. That we should have lost that game.
Yeah, that was. But the Pacers did battle us. They did. They have something the Mavericks didn't have.
I feel bad, you guys. I can see their faces getting sad as we talk.
I love you, Tork.
I'm gonna be crying in queso, pretending I'm king right now. I'm a Raptors fan. I'm really not this emotional about the Mavs.
It's so unnecessary. It's really just way unnecessary at this point. Like every time, I just catch a stray, and the Mavs catch a stray, and then by proxy. Poor King Brett catches a stray and he's not even here. Like, I mean,
he is.
What are you doing over there, Treat? Like, I mean, have you had enough? Are you done yet?
I can't help it.
BBleezy, I understand. He's just starting, but that's okay. You, however.
This is the best part of Treat's week. He's like, the mayor? No way. Ripping on Tork?
No,
That's
look,
where the curtain-
at the end of the day, like I love my Mavs. I'm a realist though, and I mean, if you really want to call it for what it is, Mavs didn't really put up much of a fight in the finals. I mean, like it sucks. And what's weirder is if you go look at the aggregate score, because they had that one blowout win, it'll look really good for the history books or whatever. I think they came close, but it doesn't matter. I mean, like they learned something. Hopefully, we were talking about it. I don't know if they learned anything, but whatever. They got to.
But it is this is the normal, like this. And you think about Luka and that team. This is how you end up winning a championship. You've got to go through what they went through. Celtics went through it, right?
Exactly.
Everybody's got to go through that thing where you get there and you get sent home with an L, and then you figure it out. I mean, so I think the Mavericks will have a bright future. I really do, and I'm not just saying that to kiss your ass, Tork. I mean, I think they do.
You would never do such a thing.
Never, but it's just part of the process that everybody has to go through.
Y'all are fine to talk your shit. You won. You kicked our ass. It is what it is. Like I can't.
Or you can, or you. Here's another way you can do it. You can ship off a player that's been loyal and great for you for years and years and years, and pick up somebody that's just going to pop in for 1 year and get you a championship and then disappear and never think about you again.
That was triggering to my Raptors.
Yeah. You see how he does this, Mac. This is
I was like, I see where you're going with this.
Well, what's funny is I thought you were talking about the Celtics because I was like, yeah, we shipped off Marcus Smart and got Kristaps Porzingis, so he's gonna be here for 2 years.
I'm sitting there being
much
like,
what we did.
why slanders?
That's pretty much what we did.
It fits. It fits either way.
The two-headed monster of Drew and Derek White. That's those two right there.
Gift. I got Drew Holiday was such a gift this year. Like, thank you to the Bucks and then also to the Blazers for just allowing him to fall into our laps. I'm a big Rob Williams fan. But obviously moving away from him was obviously the right choice for us. He can't stay healthy, unfortunately. So yeah, I was getting Drew Holiday was a game changer for real.
Is there a more underestimated player in the league?
I mean, there wasn't. I don't think he's underestimated anymore. I think people see I mean, he's twice now gone to a new team and won a championship that year, right? Wasn't it when he won with the Bucks? That was his first year on the Bucks, right?
Yeah.
So he's that guy who can just like take a team that's really good and take them over the hump.
Yeah, no doubt.
I mean, there's levels to that, obviously, Treat. I mean, because you've got probably his peers who know for a fact he's not underestimated. He's probably very well respected, et cetera, that people know about his game amongst his peers. And then you got people like us, basketball junkies, who watch it all the time. And we know that he, as Bleezy just pointed out, he's a guy that can take your team over the top. Normies, man, who knows? I mean, like they should. If you watch, I mean, it shouldn't take you very long to notice, even if you've never seen him play before, how much he impacts the game. But no, special player for sure. I mean, like the Mavs need a guy like that.
Hey, they got Klay Thompson, man.
That's not going to work. I'm sorry.
No, it's not. I was actually more excited about Quentin Grimes than Klay Thompson, to be honest with you. But
treating didn't like that. He's out.
Yeah,
he's like, no.
He's had enough. I'm not going to talk about Klay Thompson.
This new iPhone
so, are you guys looking forward? I know Treat. Are you going to stack any rooks this year? Or are you just going to kind of wait, or just going to go for the set? We'll throw it to Bleezy while Treat's adjusting his camera. Anybody stacking rooks this year?
I think my strategy this year is to kind of wait and see. I like mortgaged a big part of my collection at the end of the season to go after the finals legendary set. So I'm kind of just gonna wait and see what happens. I don't really know what to expect from Top Shot this year. I know I can't keep chasing everything every season. Like, it's just not realistic. So I think I'm just gonna keep sticking with like collect as many Celtics moments as I can, get some Clippers moments, and then just kind of see what falls into my lap. I'm not chasing after rookie sets. There isn't even a Celtics. Baylor Shireman maybe will get to play. Like, there's just not like. Which I was like thankful Wemby's not on the Celtics right now because I don't want to chase after Wemby moments. They're too expensive for me, Obviously, in a few years, I would love to have Wemby on the Celtics because he's going to be a freak. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just going to kind of like rest on my laurels of having the finals legendary set from last year and just kind of play fast break and see what comes my way.
And as I'm sure Treat would say, collect the finals legendary set again this year when the Celtics win.
Yes.
I am
It's gonna be a
kind of
Maverick.
thinking on like locking the set from last year, meaning I get a free pack at the finals this year, which if the Celtics are there
nice.
is great. I think that's not official, but that's historically what has happened. So
They should.
They
So it's
should.
gonna be
That should
kinda-
continue.
I mean, it's the least they can do for locking that set. I mean, like it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Agreed.
You deserve
Well,
to
I've
be
got.
rewarded.
I'm after that set. I want that set. I got Al, obviously,
Mm-hmm.
and Porzingis and Derek White are manageable. I mean, but it's that set reward that
Yeah.
Do you place offers, Treat?
I don't.
You need to get on the offers game.
Yeah,
Put
I
in a
bet
nice
somebody would
offer
make
that's
Treat.
reasonable, not
Somebody would
insulting.
make Treat a deal. Let me go take a look at the list of sellers or people who have it listed right now because it is.
I think there's only one or two listed. There's so few listed is the problem.
What
Yeah.
about on Floaty? Anybody know?
I don't know what it is on Floaty.
Woof. Yeah, there's two of them. Well, two of the four listed. One's the jersey and one's the last serial 39. I don't recognize any of these names though. Lion 2K3, Dario 3457, Rav _R, and Z Mamba. I got nothing.
No.
yeah. That's
Kind of hoping maybe they were part of the Celtics community and they'd hook you up like they did the Larry Bird talk
Yeah,
yeah.
just
That's
open
out of my
string.
price range.
a little bit.
I don't know. With that mayor check, that was a day on the job for you.
Just take some of the city funds and put them into.
Yeah, that's
It's an
I don't want.
investment.
Oh, I'm
It's
just
not.
kidding, obviously.
It's not worth going to jail for, but I would like to have. That is a goal for sure to get that set.
Yeah.
You'll get it.
No,
And like, do you want a Mavs pack next year? There's a real question. That's what King Brett would say, so that's what I'm going with.
That's a good one. Hey,
Well, if that happened, I would sell it and take profits. I wouldn't yes, it would stink to not have the Celtics there, but like it's free money.
I mean,
for
it's
me.
going to be worth a lot. What a good team. We love Luka.
Right.
The Mavs.
So this is a good idea. We need to do a Halloween show where we dress up as.
That's fun.
Oh,
That is a good
what
idea.
would you be though?
Well, I mean, we gotta. I mean, I like where you're going. We dress up like another Top Shot collector, and we just talk like them. So,
Could get dicey.
I have several things. I have several options that come to my mind.
This is going to be way too good. We're going to be canceled for sure. Poor Three Ball. He'll have to cut the whole episode.
I'm gonna message 3Ball right now and be like, Halloween episode.
A Halloween episode.
Do it.
It's got to happen.
I feel like this is a good idea.
Yeah.
And like whoever dressed up the best, maybe we can throw in a giveaway.
Yep. Yeah.
Well, like involve the community too. Post
Yeah,
a pic
so-
of you and your best community member fit. There's gonna be a lot of people being Roham on the yacht. I can feel it.
Yeah.
Bleezy's
Yeah,
gonna go
that's
down to
true.
the yacht club.
Yeah, I have a yacht club I could go to for sure.
See?
That's a good point. That's a good point. And then some of the drama lately, like I might go as a collector's wife.
Keep my wife's name out of your mouth.
Yeah.
I'm gonna assume that was a Will Smith impression.
It was. Do you not hear how deep I got?
That's absolutely what it was.
And then he does a slap.
Chapow!
The 1-2.
And today is I know we're not supposed to date this. Today is 3Balls and his wife's anniversary.
Oh, I didn't know that. He didn't mention that. Happy anniversary.
Yeah. Congrats, guys.
I mean,
Put an energy drink up.
you talk about the check, man. She makes bank. 3Balls just like a male servant, I think.
A servant to this community. Is that what you're going with?
Yes, that's exactly. That's yes. Who
Whatever
happens
works.
to be a male?
Whatever works.
Sugar mama is what they call him in Texas.
Whatever works for him, man. No hate.
You know what? If he can stack those moments, I don't judge.
That's
Stack them, bro.
true. Don't
Count
judge.
that up.
That's number one on the Jaden Hardy leaderboard you're talking about right there, Treaty. Show some respect.
Oh,
Yeah.
my bad. Look,
Keep his name out of your mouth.
Nothing but love for three ball. He's outstanding in all the ways.
He's holding us
he's
together.
great.
And he asks the hard-hitting questions via the community mailbag as well. So, I mean, that's it. He invokes thoughtful responses. So that's always
yes. And you guys, okay, so you guys are in the fast break game, which I'm not. But how? There seems to be some excitement. We got people getting fired up about preseason fast break has gotten all kinds of traction. So, man, this is going to be the breakout year for fast break, don't you think?
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, preseason's like it's harder to set your lineup. I don't know what you guys have taken a couple L's.
Yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
sweating it. I'm just putting people in there. The prize is an arcade pack. I'm not like losing sleep over it.
Well, you don't know. You could get a Luka in that pack.
Sure, but
I just want to put that out there. Being King Brett and all, but I'm more ready for regular season. I was stacking those rares, and I don't know if you guys saw, but Lonzo Ball had his first game back.
Yeah,
and rare jumped insane overnight. Well, not insane, but like $8 is kind of insane in my world.
It is.
Yeah.
very happy for that guy.
Long
way
too.
back, man. My God.
And he hit a 3 right away, and it was just like good to see that guy. Get his bucket.
Yeah.
So great.
I hope it works out, man. Those what are they called? The little pad that like torn, the meniscus. Those meniscus injuries can be tricky, and the surgery, I hope it works out. 2.5 years is a long time to miss.
Yeah, that's insane. Well, he had a surgery a few times, right? He had to have a couple.
Right? Yeah, for sure.
Did you see? So, do you think any of the they're going to do like the all-day thing they were doing with some major money?
Yeah.
Or dapper
there levels. There was like a beginner level, like an intermediate level, and then like a high level. Because I know Sir Edward Dunks, as he's known in these, Sir Eddie Dunks, if you will. He won like $1,500, but you have to have, I guess, their legendary moments.
Yeah.
But it's like picking player props. If anybody bets on sports betting and picks player props like over under a certain amount of yards, pick a player to get a passing touchdown. I think he had to get like 4 or 5 right, and $1,500 in dapper.
And it's only for Sunday's games.
Yep.
Oh,
so
wow.
No Thursday and no Monday. And there's like the 3 tiers, like Tork said. So you can play easy, which is commons for $10, medium, which is rares and legendaries for $100. I think they were putting it up. And then last week, the legendary tier was like $10,000 or something.
So you see that coming to fast break? Is that
I hope so. I mean, they did a bit of dapper last year, right? They did like $10 wins. Did they not? $10 in dapper.
I'd like to see them expand it. Whatever they did last year, I know it was kind of hit or miss as far as what they. I know there were some daily rewards that weren't just like moments, but it was like if you had the highest score, you get X amount of dapper. But I would love to see them do that daily. I'd love to see them be like, okay, if you get top 25, it's tiered from there. $5 dapper, or whatever to 25th, and then scale it on up. I don't know, something like that.
I think it needs some tiers for your moments. Oh, sorry, BBleezy.
No, you're fine. Tork's thing reminds me of how moment ranks paid out. And I was a fan of that because it gave you something to play for every day. You didn't have to hit a home run and get first place. If you could just place in the top 100, like something like that would be fun. I don't know what they're going to do, but I feel like they're going to do different things. Like Fast Break has so many ways to be customizable and be different every run. And I just hope they try different things. I don't even really care what it is at this point. I just want to see them do different stuff and see how it goes.
I'd like to see it tiered for sure. Yeah. I would like to see easy, medium, and hard modes, kind of like NFL all day. Just get the most use of your collection, and it's kind of sick if you can win like $1,500 in dapper because you have a bunch of legendaries. We all know I'm gonna put all that money back in, so it's really a win on both ends, is it not?
Yeah,
right.
Agreed.
Like we all have an addiction at this point.
No, not me. I could quit anytime.
I'm like, I can't sleep without looking at my fast break, looking at my wish list.
I'll be curious to see if there are people who create certain leagues, on their own that have those kinds of requirements that, okay, if you're going to be in this league, you can only use rare moments and you can only use them once, and it's going something like that. I don't know. Maybe some sub communities will develop from this. Be interesting to see if anything happens from there.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I think that's definitely going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen with like the Top Shot team communities, but assuming those continue to exist, I got to assume we'll keep trying to do that kind of stuff and looking for ways to engage the communities through Fast Break.
I mean, a few of them have them. Like Raptors had their preseason one.
Yeah.
Which we started up a few weeks ago, right? So I don't know. I hope the communities stick. I think that's like such an important part of Top Shot.
I agree. I also
like
hope
without that, it's like that's like the whole backbone of it to me. Like Collectin on Top Shot was fun, but when I got on Twitter and Discord, that's when my collecting took off, because it's like common people. Like you're all thinking not the same, but you're all into the same thing. My friends outside, they don't care what I'm doing on Top Shot. They don't get it. You guys, these are my people.
Yeah, they don't care until you're talking to Larry Bird, and then all of a sudden everyone's like, "Wait, what are you doing?" Then
yeah,
that's valid. And I think, have we all met a player at this point? Have you met anyone, Tork?
I did. I got to meet Mr. Tyrese Halliburton of
that's
team that gave you guys the toughest series in the playoffs after the last year, the Pacers. But yeah, no, Tyrese, man, that was any chance I get, I'll shout out Pack Rip, shout out Jacob, shout out Austin Kent. Those were the guys, who got me in there. I mean, they really kind of allowed me to go be a part of that VIP experience. I was in Vegas up for my birthday, and they let me be a part of that. It was amazing. Tyrese was super down to earth. You talk about down to earth guys. He fits in really well in that market because he's just a Midwest guy. Have you seen him at the Colts games, down in beers, standing on the sidelines? I mean, like going nuts. I mean, like he's about it. So he's a great ambassador for the community. Love his basketball IQ. We talked a little bit about his days at Iowa State when he played UT and stuff, and some of those battles against the guys at UT. But yeah, man, it's funny how those guys have this insane recall for specific plays and specific games and guys they played against. I mean, like I know Larry definitely like when I saw him during the Austin Kent interview. I mean, like that was that. I mean, like like him remembering just not only like the game situation and the score, but okay, here was a play that was called. Here's what the coach. I mean, like it was insane the amount of detail to the stories, which, as you guys alluded to, was provided in the answers he gave you to the questions, which is even more amazing. And Bleezy, you have of course given your line of work. I mean, you would know if somebody's kind of phoning it in, like a celebrity's just kind of like, yeah, I don't want to be here. I don't really care, that kind of thing.
No, he was excited, man. He was really excited to be there, and he had a lot of fun, like just moments and tidbits and recollections and stuff. Someone asked him what his favorite memory from being on Team USA was, the Dream Team, and he was like, "Yeah, it was great playing with all those guys, but honestly, if it had gone on 2 weeks longer, we all would have killed each other." Like the egos there, and everyone was counting minutes and just worried about how many minutes they were playing. And I was like, "Who cares how many minutes we play? We're gonna win by 50. Like, what does it matter?" Like, I don't know. Just hearing him talk about all the cool things he's done was pretty fun. But yeah, the way that they can remember like specific plays and moves and trash talk. He told a thing about how when he would go to LA, it's always so cold in their stadium. At the time it was the Forum. It's so cold in the Forum because they got the AC blowing, and the reason for that is the fans have faces made of plastic. And if they didn't have the AC on, their faces would melt. So he would talk trash to the fans. When you come to Boston, your faces are going to melt off, which is just like so random. Anyway,
I wonder that's where the phrase "melt faces" comes from. Like,
maybe. Maybe.
I maybe just tying that. I never would have put that together.
No.
I am curious though, Mac. You said we've all met somebody. I know you've been to a couple of events. Did you get to meet somebody? I honestly
did. I did at the Top Shot tour in Toronto. I met Jose Caladrone, which was just
nice.
That was pretty cool. He signed my sneakers.
Dallas Maverick.
That's why I said it. I wouldn't have mentioned it otherwise, but because I'm a Mavs fan today.
King Brett, Mac, King Mac Brett. You're amazing today. You're absolutely amazing today.
embodying it. I ate a shit ton of queso before I came on just to make sure I was like in my role. Like, I'm not playing around today, guys. This is serious business, just like my man Luka. But anyway, meeting him was just like, that's just like crazy unreal. And I look super tall in the photo because of the angle, but I'm telling you guys, I'm not that tall. This man was huge. Like,
Yeah.
mind blown. And he didn't, it wasn't the same with you guys with Larry Bird. Like, Top Shot asked a lot of questions, and like, I don't know how many people were at the tour, probably like 100 of us.
Yeah.
So it was like a group chat, but it was still so cool to hear from an actual player. And I never thought I'd get that opportunity because I'm waiting on Top Shot to bring Grady Dick in. And then you guys know I'm gonna win that leaderboard.
Yep, that's a wrap right there.
Oh yeah. Are you number one on the?
Yeah, 31,000 as of this morning because it's Gary Trent Jr. times Dick Friday, guys. So we locked another up.
Nice.
Congratulations. I also went to a Top Shot tour stop in Portland. I went to the Portland stop and met Terry Porter
Nice.
at that. And again, it was Top Shot asking most of those questions. We did get to ask some questions, and I asked him the same question I asked Larry. If there's a player in the league today that reminds you of your style, and he said Marcus Smart. And I was like,
Nice.
yeah, Marcus Smart.
Yeah.
Actually, I didn't ask that question, but when he said Marcus Smart, I was like, yeah. And then everyone was like, what are you doing? And I was like, Marcus Smart.
He hung out with you guys for quite a while, from my understanding.
Yeah, he did. They did the question and answer session, and then he stayed, and everyone like lined up and was able to go talk to him one at a time. And he signed autographs. I didn't have anything for him to sign, but I went with Dream and Chewy Wolf. We got in line with him and got to like take a photo with him and stuff. It was cool. He was very nice. And again, thankful just to like have people that are interested and want to talk to him and do that.
Yeah, because what was you guys like? There was activities, right, at each tour stop. Do you guys have like an activity or something with them? Or?
Yeah, the RPC community did a good job of planning stuff to go alongside the Top Shot tour. So there was like the night before we all met up at a bar and just kind of like got drinks and hung out. The next day they were running a scavenger hunt where you start at a bar and they give you a list of things in the city to go find and take pictures with. And if you do, you get an entry in a giveaway. So we spent most of the day doing that, just going around Portland, looking for the big spots they were trying to highlight. And then we went to a game together that night. And then the next day is when we met Terry Porter. So it was like a full 3-day extravaganza. It was fun.
Yeah, that's so awesome. I love hearing other people's tour stops. They need to bring that back this season.
They really do. That was like
cool.
the cool thing, man. Like for me, the thing that's so cool about Top Shot is that it's the jump from like your collection to the in real life events that you gain access to. Like that's always been the appeal to me of like, oh, I get to go to the Dave and Buster's with 310 Yacht Club or Top Golf or stop at the Top Shot tour, like whatever it ends up being, which is why when the Larry Bird thing came up, I was like, oh, I'll burn a couple moments for this. Like this feels like the utility I've been trying to get out of it, you know?
Yeah.
Those in real life events are the coolest, man. Just getting to hang out with people and talk basketball and do games or whatever. Yeah, I miss that stuff.
Yeah, well, we got to make sure that comes back this season.
For sure. Yeah.
It wasn't really I didn't get to hang out with him, but when I won some seats to the Grizzly game, floor seats, you got the VIP lounge you can go eat at before the game, and it's right there where the players walk by, and Jaw walked by the window, and I'm sitting there eating a hot dog, and he just gave me the heads up, and game recognized game, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, he's like, I see you.
You don't want to be on the wrong side with that guy.
Were you flexing the calf muscles at that point, Treat?
I think he recognized the skill level. You know,
it's
what
an
I'm saying?
aura,
the power.
Yeah, you got the Riz for sure.
Yeah,
right.
So that was cool. Just being able to be Marcus last year sitting on the Grizzly bench, I was like, hey, what's up? And he's like, what up, man? And
did you warm up with them?
No, I probably parts during that part of the season I had so many injuries, I probably could have stood in the corner and stretched the floor for him a little bit, but
seriously,
I'd have been a serious liability on the defensive end. So there's that. But I also, recognize the beauty of getting to watch Derrick Rose play last year, and man, he played great. It was beautiful to watch, and so again, I never would in a million years would have thought I'd get floor side seats to watch Derrick Rose play basketball, and then there I was, and now he's done. Is that right? Because I don't want to make the same mistake. Okay.
Well, did you buy a legendary of his?
No. I have looked at that gift set that he's in. The gift, remember that?
It's reasonable.
Yeah, it's cheap. I thought about grabbing that set.
Well,
right now, I'm at set number 9. I need to figure out what set I'm getting for my number 20, which is a big deal. So
sounds like you're giving yourself the gift.
I should give myself a gift. I mean, I was collecting when that went down. Were you guys?
No, I came in right after that.
Okay, yeah, I got one of those packs because I didn't get in in the queue. I didn't get a pack, and they were giving those out, and those things just like everything else went to the moon.
They were insane.
Yeah, so I need to pick. I think I'm gonna pick that set up.
I think you should. I
Looking
support it.
relatively inexpensive right now. It looks like it's like less than $20, dude.
Yep. I think that's gonna be number 20 for me.
Yeah, you can do it right after the show.
Yep, I will.
Yeah.
Do it on the show right now. We'll watch you
it's
do
still peer pressure. Get on it.
I
don't have a Lego treat.
I don't have a problem.
Just to hijack back to the utility, I was recently reminded by Mr. Elvish Piper. He's a Celtics collector who I think you guys might recognize. We both won tickets to opening night 2 years ago, Celtics versus 76ers. And as part of it, we got to go in early for warm-ups. And we're watching Grant Williams warm up, and he's finishing, and he's about to walk off, and he's walking off the court. And this is the part I didn't remember. Mr. Elvish Piper just reminded me. He goes, "BBleezy, you shouted out, 'Hey, Grant, I have 5 of your Top Shot debuts.'" And he turned around and was like, "Oh, word?" And then came over and took a photo with us. And I was like, I don't remember shouting out to Grant, but that sounds like me. So
I love that.
You were starstruck.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. At the time, 5 Top Shot debuts was enough to get a photo of Grant Williams. That was the running price. Yep.
Unreal.
I think I have 120 of those.
Well, let him know, man. You can get a photo.
He did like one of my tweets when I tweeted something about that, and he liked it. Yeah. Now again, poor guy, right? Starts the season with the Celtics, get traded to the Mavs, ends up with Charlotte.
And now he's just over in Charlotte. He's staying there, right? Or is he
for now?
I don't keep up with him.
Yeah, I don't think anyone else would want him for that price. I just don't think he's worth what he's getting paid at this point, unfortunately. He doesn't produce enough.
Making Jimmy Butler mad.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Ugh.
Grant did some amazing
things on the new Netflix series.
Yeah, I'm watching that now. It's pretty good. It's
not bad. I just like the behind the scenes, and I know that they're aware that cameras are on them and stuff, but still, man, it's pretty well done. The Jimmy Butler, and I'm just through the first episode, haven't seen them all, but pretty good so far.
I'm like 6 episodes in, and it's interesting, man. I like it. It's kind of fun getting to see, like you said, the behind the scenes stuff and all the other stuff that they're into that we don't necessarily know, like their hobbies and things. Anthony Edwards really likes video games, it seems like.
It's kind of making me like Jason Tatum.
Oh, definitely. I mean, I don't see how you watch this and you dislike that guy. All he does is like basketball and his son. That's all.
He's a machine. Yeah. He's a basketball robot. He is in the best sense of the word. I mean, it's not. Obviously, these guys, you obviously got to differentiate between what they do on the court and, they're human beings and stuff. But it's nice to see the human side to all these guys. I mean, we knew about LeBron, but seeing Jason Tatum especially, and Deuce steals the show. I mean, that.
Oh, yeah, Deuce is hilarious in it.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a couple episodes in, and I really like it. Is there a Canadian version of Starting Five? starting one? It's only got one player because there's only one Canadian team. Is there?
Give us a few years. We'll get some Canadians starting. Then I'll watch it. That's why I'm not. I'm like, well, why didn't you put like Shea on this? I would have been there.
That's true.
That's my new hot take. That's why I'm not watching it, guys.
I got to
Okay.
imagine they're gonna do this again and just pick 5 different players for this.
Yeah.
Right.
I heard quarterback was a huge success, and they're doing another one apparently. So
Yeah.
Quarterback was good.
They did
So
receiver
next
too.
year's starting 5 probably do Shea.
probably they have to. Grady Dick. He's not Canadian, but he's cool enough that he deserves.
Honorary Canadian, right? Have you guys made him Canadian yet?
Got to be Wemby. Got to be Wemby.
Wemby.
That would be good.
Did you see the Wemby quote about him getting in the league and how he's like, yeah, I thought he's like, when I was overseas, I see these guys on TV and I get here and I realize that no, they don't really put the work in. And I'm not. He's like, I'm not impressed by a few. And he didn't mention anybody's name specifically.
Wow.
But kind of interesting. But also like, yeah, I think Wemby's legit, guys. I don't know.
Is he talking about Luka?
Shut up.
Keep his name out of your mouth.
Actually, that's a good one. I was trying to figure out who he's talking about. Could be Luka.
I don't know, but I mean, if he said that coming back after being with the French team, maybe Gobert has an influence on him. Maybe there's certain. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. It's tough to imagine who he would be talking about, but definitely not Luka, right?
What do you think? You think they're Spurs this year?
I think they could be a play-in team.
You think so?
I think they could be the play-in. Yeah.
Wemby could be that damn good, and I think picking up Castle in the draft, if they, I don't know if they're going to hand him the reins immediately, but he's really good in the pick and roll. I'm curious to see how Chris Paul fits in. I mean, to me, he's always kind of been a head case, but he's not going to pull that shit with Popovich around, so that won't happen. But Spurs are sneaky good. You know who I think is on paper looks really damn good in the West is the Rockets. Like they got a squad. They look deep. Mavs made a few changes. Nuggets are going to be good. I thought the Clippers were going to make a run at it until the Paul George thing happened, and now Kawhi is going to sit out for a little while.
Yeah,
so
that's really disappointing. The Kawhi
sucks,
news.
man.
Yeah, it does.
I was hoping for a good season for Kawhi. Just for everybody's sake. I hate when people get injured. Like I want everybody at full health to the best of their abilities. It's like when they had steroids in baseball. I'm like, just juice them all up, man. Let's just go.
Yeah. Banana Mac is happy that Kawhi's hurt. She hates that guy.
Yeah. You left the Raptors. Sucks to suck. I don't know. Like
he didn't do enough for y'all.
Back.
I think in the West, I think the Thunder are going to rock people in the West this year.
Really?
Really good.
That's scary that they brought in Caruso and that, like, hey, they looked at the Celtics and their defensive backcourt and they're like, okay, cool. Let's go ahead and bring in Alex Caruso and get rid of Giddey. And and Treat, you mentioned earlier going through the process, of like, okay, we lose in X or whatever round of the playoffs, you advance to next year. Yeah. The growing pains of becoming a champion. OKC, I think, is ready to be like, all right, well, we lost in the West Finals last year. We're ready the semis. Yeah. They're ready to make the finals and probably do some damage. They're going to be scary good.
I think they're going to. I think they got another year. They got another year to ripen.
Or maybe if they don't do it this year, that pick that the Clippers have, if the Clippers don't make the playoffs and it ends up being a lottery pick, and then the Thunder end up getting that, and then the Thunder could end up with Cooper Flag. So just digest that for a second, which is scary.
I think he's going to be scary. Caruso's our oldest player at what, like 29?
Yeah.
Wow,
young
really?
dogs.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Jalen Williams is going to be he's going to take a giant step forward. Chet's going to be even better. Case and Wallace, I think. Speaking of meeting players, I know Top Shot's got a meet and greet with him coming up. Shout out Richardson High School in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. But yeah, I think Case and Wallace his defense is already NBA ready, but I think on the offensive end, he'll be even better. But yeah, I'm with you, Bleez. OKC is going to be a problem.
Where did Giddey end up?
Chicago. He's a bull.
Okay.
He was unplayable in the playoffs last year. Like he just could not stay on the court. He was such a liability. That was surprising. Yeah,
I
the
think
one
he was
thing for
fucking
the
with chemistry
Thunder,
up.
Hartenstein's missing the first month or so, month and a half, right? He's got a fracture in his left hand.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah.
About 5 or 6 weeks, but that shouldn't hurt him too much.
Nah.
No. Beginning.
Giddy rhymes with Diddy. You think there's any connection there?
I mean, you know,
is that 3-ball asking the hard-hitting questions over there?
yeah, we'll play that one on 3-ball for sure.
Yeah, you gotta.
It is his anniversary.
Yeah.
Yeah, I DM'd him happy anniversary. He hasn't responded. What
a segue, Treat.
Let's talk about 3-ball in his personal life.
Yeah. He'll cut this out anyway. Mac, you stacking any rooks this year, or is it just going to be the same thing every Friday, stacking dicks?
I don't know. I don't know yet this year, guys. We'll see how my Raptors do, and I'll decide. I'm like BBleezy. I got to figure out what I'm doing with my collection.
Hey,
I can't go for everything, so.
Grady, look, he's had a pretty good preseason. In the last game he played, he looked damn good.
People are sleeping on him. They were all along. Even my dad, who knows nothing about basketball, was like, "You had a good hot take on that Grady guy," and I was like, "Thanks, Ken, that means everything."
Give it a few years. Give it a few years, and maybe Treat and BBleezy will get to do a reunion with Larry Bird, and they'll ask him, "Hey, Larry, which player in the league most resembles you now?" Grady Dick.
I would die happy. No
There
word.
have been the comparisons by some, not by me, but by some, to say that Grady Dick is Larry Bird-esque.
Is the modern day Larry Bird.
He's working towards it.
I liked him. I knew it. Guys, I don't know. We'll see what I decide. I hope they do freshman gems again. I really enjoyed that, so that might hook me in if they go the rookie debuts, the freshman gems to the legendaries. I just think that's a sick concept.
Looking forward to it. Looking forward to any kind of an announcement about what they're going to do. Although I think that they're probably going to follow the same cadence with the rookies because it'll be easier for them to say, well, that's why we didn't do the announcement. We know you guys knew what it was going to be the whole time. And so here's some rookies, and I will fiend over them because that's what I do, because I do not have a problem with Top Shot or stacking rooks for that matter.
I mean, I feel that. I spend way too much money on Top Shot, but guess what? I ain't going to stop anytime soon. No way. This is my life at this point. This is, I think, and live and breathe it. So,
any parting thoughts as we get ready to bid our lovely audience adieu, guys? BBleezy?
I'm just ready for the season to start. I think the Celtics are about to mop the floor with everyone again this year and trounce their way to another championship, and then they're going to have to blow up the team. So I'm just gonna enjoy this season while it lasts, because I know it's about to get real for Celtics fans after this year. So one more year of being awesome.
That's right. I agree.
Nobody in the East for sure slowing y'all down. Mac, any musings, philosophical comments, predictions?
Predictions, Grady Dick's an all-star. I got to yank this off and shout out Floaty, because you know how I do. I expect to see Treat on Floaty finishing some sets. I'm going to drop you some links of what you got to buy. There's no Grady Dick debuts on there. Sorry, I bought them all. But thanks for having me on, guys. I appreciate it. It's always a good time, and I was glad I could bring some King Brett to y'all.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. And it was good to have some King Brett vibes back on today. Some queso vibes, always good for the soul.
Oh, yeah. I feel better now that I drank a bunch of queso before I came on here. I feel amped up for my day. I'm going to go to the Texas State Fair and have a great day and, enjoy the fun. See some of my friends, y'all, and hang out.
Love it.
I love it. I appreciate everybody tuning in, however or wherever you are listening. Thank you all so much. It's been a pleasure speaking with you. Y'all have a great rest of the day, great week, great start of the season. We will see y'all next time on the Collectin and Connectin podcast.
Peace out.
Peace the King.
Tune in every Tuesday for a new episode of the Collectin and Connectin pod. And if you want to rock some merch, check out our store at Shop Collectin and Connectin in the bio on this video. Thank you all for watching. See you next Tuesday.